The museum closed in 2020 as a result of the COVID epidemic. My understanding is that they were, all the museums, theaters, entertainment things were basically closed, by the governor. Had issued some statements, we're closing all of it because of COVID. How and why did I ever become interested in trains? I've lived here in Wichita Falls my whole life, and the Fort Worth and Denver Railroad tracks went directly behind our house. My backyard faced the Scott Street overpass, and so I could see trains coming and going under that bridge all the time when I was little. And then as I gradually got a little bit older, I would walk up to the railroad tracks and watch the trains. My grandfather had worked on a bridge gang for the railroad for a short period of time.
My name is Cassie Bali. When I got started with the railroad, it was the Fort Worth and Denver Railroad. Then maybe 10, 12 years later, it turned into Burlington Northern. And then back in 1993 or 94, somewhere along in there, it changed over to BNSF because the BN took over the Santa Fe.
Is it important to salvage these pieces of history? Wichita Falls was founded by the railroad on September 27th, 1882. And so, since the railroad is what literally put Wichita Falls on the map, the railroad deserves a special historical presence in this community.
And if you ever go downtown where the museum is at, there's a great building that's there. That used to be the depot. That's where you would go in and buy your tickets to ride the Zephyr on the passenger train when it's come through here, when it used to stop here and go through.
One of our members has started repainting the ornate iron fence that goes around the museum. They've been doing groundskeeping. Nobody had been mowing the grass, doing weed eating, anything for years. So they're tackling that. This past week we had one crew that went down there and cleaned it all up at where the main gate is, once it gets open where people will enter the museum. They clean that all back up. They are beginning to mop the cars, clean the windows, do things like that.
Did I ever go there? I'd go there with my daughter, taking her there because she was so interested in working on seeing what I did for the railroad, the cabooses and the cars, the handbrakes, and the motor cars that I used to patrol track in.
Now that the museum has obtained the lease, how long will it be till I see that the museum will open? It's going to take a couple more months before I would consider opening it.
Would I be willing to be a volunteer? If they needed it, yeah, I would volunteer, for 3 or 4 hours at a time, and get people familiarized with their questions that they may want to ask. So, yeah, I could do that.